Welcome back to In the Deep End podcast. I am Cosmic.
I'm Chanda.
And go ahead and watch this video.
Like, we really in a fucking day and age, we're telling bitches, can you please stop coming to the gym ass fucking naked? Starts a public fucking discourse, a public fucking uproar. Like, all we want to do is come to the fucking gym and work out, but no. The leg press machine gotta look like a fucking casting couch because bitches is literally at the gym in lingerie. Like, what the fuck are we talking about? Then a bitch will look you in your eyes and tell you it's not bothering anybody. I'm uncomfortable. What the fuck, bitch? Are we at Myrtle Beach or LA fucking Fitness? Help me understand. Help me understand why you feel the need to come outside damn near naked. What is it about? Why are you fighting so hard to literally just go in public service ass naked? Like, that's essentially what the fuck you fighting for. Like, if that is important to you as a person, you are one privileged piece of shit. Because who the fuck, out of all the bills, death, institutionalized systematic racism and shit, imperialism, and you want to put your fucking time and emotions to fighting for bitches to be able to come to any public event ass fucking naked? Bitch, shorts so fucking tight up her ass, she got to fart for them bitches to come off. Now get the fuck out my face.
So what's your opinion on what this guy has to say?
I'm in 100% agreement with him that this shit has gotten so out of hand. And, you know, there's the argument that, well, I can wear whatever I want to wear. You know, I don't have to dress a certain way, and I'm doing it for me. I think that's the biggest bullshit I've ever heard. Mm-hmm. They're definitely doing it to get attention. Mm-hmm. And the thing is that they want attention from a certain person or a certain type of person.
Exactly.
And when they don't get it, then
exactly.
Then that's what you get.
Right.
And then or they'll record themselves saying, "We can't do anything without being harassed."
Right.
And it's like, shut up.
Right.
Just be quiet. Just you know, go in there, get all the looks and the drooling because that's what you're going for.
Exactly.
And call it a day.
Right.
But when they turn around and claim that they don't want people looking at them, something is wrong with those folks. Something is wrong with those women.
Yeah, you know, when it comes to how I feel about this, it's weird because on one hand I kind of feel like wear whatever you want to wear. Is it ridiculous? It is. And I don't think I would have such a problem with it if you go dressing this way in, for one, a male-dominated area. That's another thing. Because although there are women in the gym now, the gym is notoriously where a lot of guys are going to be.
Yes.
Right? So you should expect guys, straight men anyway, to look at you, and you can't really have a problem with that. And if you're really there to work out, you know, you can dress more modestly than what this guy is talking about and some of the things that I've seen, and still look, I guess, cute or fashionable, if that's what you're shooting for, you claim. So why
are you trying to be fashionable at the gym?
I mean, I'm not a big...
You are there to work out.
You know, I'm not a step out kind of person, so I can't really speak on it and what the mindset of people are who are like that. I'm more of a person where if I'm stepping out, it's going to be for a special occasion. Outside of that, I'm going to be in a hoodie and some shorts, or a t-shirt and some shorts. You know, I'm not really a get dressed fashion type of person in my everyday life, so maybe that's just what it is, or they claim.
Well, get dressed and fashion should have nothing to do with the gym. You are, okay, first of all, you're going to be sweating and you're going to perspire, right? To,
exactly.
You know, just get your workout on. What's wrong with the t-shirt and some reasonable shorts, or some leggings, or, you know, whatever your choice is. Not all up the crack of your ass.
Right.
And not your titties all out.
And then mad that guys are looking.
And then mad. It doesn't
It'd
make
be
sense.
one thing if they were just doing it. You know, they didn't say one thing or they didn't feel one way or another about the attention that they were getting, and that's just kind of how they're showing up, I'm sure nobody would have a problem with it. But it's become a problem because now you want to be in this male environment, and as we've said in another episode, you're mad when males are being males,
right?
And yeah, I can't get with that. I'm a big believer in be whoever you want to be and do whatever you want to do. Just know I don't want to say consequences, but just know all that comes with doing or being those things.
Well, you know what kills me too is they'll have on all this tight ass shit, and then they'll go and do these ridiculous exercises. Like they'll have their legs spread wide like this on some machine.
Right.
You can see the crack of her vagina, and then she'll be going like this, like all the way out like this.
Right.
And then be mad, like, what are you looking at?
Right.
And it's like, girl, if you don't stop, listen. I am. Go ahead.
Do you think that there should be male gyms, female gyms, and co-ed gyms?
Yeah. Well, they do have some gyms like that now.
Right, but like kind of like a thing. So if you're more comfortable with exercising around women and dressing however you want to dress, that's the gym you go to. If you don't mind, go to the co-ed gym.
I guarantee you, if they did that, say, we're going to have half of the LA Fitnesses women, half of the men, and then we have a co-ed one. Those girls that dress like that wouldn't go to the women's only gym because they're dressing like that for male attention, even though they claim they don't want it.
Right.
That's exactly why they're dressing like that.
Right. But then see, there's no excuse.
Well, no, there's no excuse now because they do have gyms that are only for females.
I've never heard of such a gym.
Absolutely, they do.
Never heard of it.
But are there are they plentiful? No, but they do have them.
Mm-hmm.
And if you don't want male attention, don't show up with your body exposed. Now, some women would say, well, everything is covered up. But that shit is so tight, it's like a second skin.
Mm-hmm.
And you can see their whole ass print.
Mm-hmm.
And then you turn around and they got a big old moose knuckle print.
When they're doing their sumo squats.
Yeah, and it's like, why are you doing that? And you know what? I don't want to say this and it sound wrong. But if you went outside of the gym and got accosted because you have on some tight ass shit with your stuff out,
right?
Then of course everybody would be all up in arms,
right?
But what do you expect when you are showing up, as you said, in a male-dominated place, looking like that?
Right.
Men are gonna be men,
right?
And why women don't expect that, I don't get. Because they don't have to say anything to you, but they're definitely gonna look. They're definitely going to look, and then don't act like you're mad after the fact.
I often believe women don't really understand men at all, or they expect men to be something, or they were told that they're something that they're not. And I think that's where a lot of the confusion comes in. And it's something I don't really completely understand myself. I don't really get it. But guys can be less creepy too. You do have those.
So looking makes them creepy?
But it's one thing to look every now and again. But you have some guys after every set, they're all... And then they're doing the little nod to their friend or some guy across the bench or something, just like, yeah, bad, she's bad. So it's almost like you could be less creepy, yes, but don't dress that way. If you don't want that attention, don't dress that way. And some of these comments, though, they have... This one girl says, complaining about a gym outfit is like complaining about a bikini at the pool. It's a dedicated space.
Wow.
So I guess she's saying, when I paid for these clothes, they said that they were gym clothes. So, this is appropriate attire.
But not 3 sizes too small. See, that's the issue. Yes, right. You know what? It probably is gym attire, but I guarantee you it'll look a hell of a lot different if you got the appropriate size.
Right. We got another one who says he's absolutely correct. It's uncomfortable for everyone, and it does make the guys uncomfortable, I'm sure, because
hell, it makes the women uncomfortable too.
Well, there's actually a next one who's a woman who says she's also uncomfortable, but I don't know. Why do you think it makes them uncomfortable, women uncomfortable?
Because it's inappropriate. It's inappropriate, and you feel, it's like, you feel icky. You feel like the ick, and then you're like, what a machine is she getting ready to go get on? So you can keep a mental note so you can make sure to extra wipe down after she's done with the machine. It is just very uncomfortable.
And this is off topic, but when it comes to, it's on topic yet off topic. People are so against wiping down the machine when they're done with it. I don't understand it. It's like whenever I'm at the gym, I'm like super just like, I spray everything down, I wipe everything down when I get on and when I get off. And how many people have come up to me and be like, why do you don't have to do all of that, right? And I'm just kind of like,
okay, so that, to me, that's like appropriate gym behavior.
Exactly.
That's what I was always taught and told and have done.
Right.
Because nobody wants your sweaty ass juice. You go and sitting down behind you.
Exactly.
That's disgusting.
Apparently some do.
And then it's like you'll see their sweat all down their back, right?
Yeah.
So that ass juice is coming out right along with it and being on the gym seat. It's like, come on, nobody wants that. Nobody know.
Right.
No,
I agree.
It's just so inappropriate.
But a lot of people have something against wiping down the machines at the gym. I don't understand it. Someone said, this one lady says, I never want that much attention at the gym. Another one says, if they work out at home, they would be in baggy sweatpants.
Exactly.
And in a Raiders jersey.
I completely agree.
But it's the truth.
Mm-hmm.
That's the truth.
I completely agree with that sentiment. They are dressing like that for attention, whether it's positive or negative. It's all acceptable. And that whole thing about, ew, he's staring at me, that's just all for show. That is all for show.
No.
Because there's something in here that's like feeding that monster.
Yeah, for sure. And there's someone who said that's so unsanitary. And when you think about it, right, even if it's not them who's leaving the machines disgusting, there could be some dirty guy, right? He doesn't shower regularly, all of those things. And your open areas are more exposed to all of these different germs and bacteria and all of these things. So it's just kind of like, it is very unsanitary when you really think about it.
And then too, it's like these girls have their leggings and shorts so far up their coochie, they got a yeast infection. So then all of that, you're like, ew. Just know, because we as women know. You can't be wearing stuff like that and have a, healthy little area. Right. And then you want to sit on a machine. So all of that, it's like wearing, I saw a girl, she damn near had panties on.
Really?
And tight ones at
I've seen that too, though. I've seen definitely half of the ass out. Yeah, I've seen all of that. That they do dress like that. Like you said, titties are all out for the most part. I personally don't have a problem with it. But I'm also not going to be I wouldn't be staring you down, but I'm also not going to be staring you down if I did find you attractive. You know what I'm saying? People need to learn how to have some form of self-control and decorum on both sides. Both sides. Stop dressing like you want that attention, and on the other end, quit it with the brain rot. Focus on your exercise. If you want to brain rot later and think about it when you get in your car, do that. But you don't have to be staring the girl down all your whole 2-3 hours, however long you're there, because they will do that. I've seen it. So there are some guys who are just always, and then you have these guys where they always bug the girl during her workout. Like they want to come up and have a conversation. And they sit there and talk for like 10 minutes. It's almost like, aren't you supposed to have like a 30, 60-second cool down before your next set? You're wasting time.
Well, that's what she opens the door for.
That's what they're saying. Right. It's true. That's what they're opening the door for.
And another thing about women being uncomfortable is that women know what that is projecting. Mm-hmm. And that, I think, alone makes women uncomfortable, too, is that, why do you want to make us all look slutty? Why do you want to make us all look bad? Like, we're all just wanting people to stare at our ass and at our titties and between our legs and all that. But why?
I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like that grouping thing that people do. The world can benefit from letting people just be individuals. That's what they do. It doesn't mean that's how they look at you or view you. How you carry yourself and how you represent yourself is how people will inevitably see you. I don't like that take. It's kind of like, let people represent themselves without you making it about you. That's how I feel.
You know what? And I understand that, but the fact of the matter is that's how people view things.
I mean, but ultimately, it's going to come down to how an individual presents themselves, respects themselves, and goes about their life. And somebody who would take on the idea of you being like these women are not for you or shouldn't be in your atmosphere, and they would learn quickly, if your boundaries are strong, that you're not welcome over here because I'm not about that, and let it be that. But I understand at the same time, because you are grouped, and I guess
everybody's grouped in together, whether you like it or not.
I can understand the emotion, but I would urge people, and I try to encourage myself to look at things more individualistically. Isn't that right?
Yeah, it is. I mean, yeah.
Look at people, myself, as an individual.
This is what Granny always told me. When you walk outside of this door, you are not only representing yourself, but you're representing me. Mm-hmm. And you're representing your father, your family, and you're also representing others that look like you. And she always said that.
That may be true.
Let me tell you too. Because I would be trying to sneak out with my pajama pants on, go to Shell or whatever the case.
Right.
And she'd be like, girl, if you don't get back in here and put some clothes on. Because she felt that you should always represent yourself in a certain manner when you step outside of your home. Mm-hmm. That's why because I was born and reared that way, I don't understand these girls that are doing that. Because what that says to me is that you're hot in the panties. And you're after something. That's what it says to me when I see these girls dressed like that.
And although that may be the truth, but this is why I say it's so important to stop grouping and trying to make everyone the same, because you have women like Sukiana, and this is an extreme example, but she said, I come from a long line of tricks and hoes. So this attire, this behavior, all of these things is appropriate, and I'm representing my family well. And if you're looking at life through her eyes. So everybody, and that, although that's extreme, everybody has a different, we're not all raised the same, and we don't have all the same beliefs, and, we don't have all the same experiences either. So to each his own to a degree.
But you have to say that this is happening on a large scale. It's not just, one or two people that are making these decisions to show up to the gym like this.
Right.
It's a whole bunch of people. It has become a common issue.
Well, it's a trend.
Because you know what? Thank you. So what happens is when you see this one girl dressed like that and there's no shame, then this girl goes, well, I look good too. Let me go and get some 3 sizes too small leggings. Mm-hmm. Right? Because there are positive trends and negative trends.
Mm-hmm.
This is definitely a negative trend, and it makes women look really bad.
Yeah, and that's true. I won't say that that's not true, but like I said, I'm more of a person, live and let live. But if you're going to do that, you have to be ready to endure whatever comes with that.
Absolutely.
I don't say it lightly, like, yeah, just do whatever you want and bitch and complain about, what you don't like, about what it is you're doing and what it is you're bringing into your own life. If you're going to do these things, know that this is what comes with it. And as long as you're understanding of that and you're not, out here complaining, I have no problem with it. Yeah, do you.
And then stop making men feel like perverts and predators when they're staring at you. It's like putting a raw steak in front of a dog
or a lion
and then getting mad when he wants to eat it.
Exactly.
It just doesn't make any sense.
Exactly.
They know exactly what they're doing, in my opinion. Mm-hmm. But they'll claim that they don't, but they absolutely do.
They know what they're doing. It's the old, this person can do it, but you can't. Or, because I find this person attractive, all bets are off. And, anybody else, it's wrong. It's kind of like what Funky said, a glove, it has to be a glove if you turn it inside out.
Mm-hmm.
So realize that most people are carrying that idea, and so they see that it's okay that this person's staring at you, so they're going to stare at you too. Just like the girl sees the girl staring at or the girl sees that this girl's not getting any shame for dressing like that, I'ma do it too. It goes back and forth on both sides. So, yeah, I don't know. If you don't want to be perceived as, I don't want to say a whore, but if you don't want, sexual attention, don't dress sexually. And that means insinuating your ass and your titties and your stomach, your waist, whatever, go to the gym regular.
You know what? If someone wants to dress like that, if you're going out to the club or something, mm-hmm. or, you and your mate or spouse or whatever, you're going to this special event, that's maybe a little risky. I have no problem with that.
Right.
You know what? If you have the body to do it when you're doing certain things or going certain places, absolutely.
Right.
But the gym is not one of those places.
And I think this is something that's lost on my generation and maybe the millennials, and it kind of gets on my nerves. It's almost like, why are you twerking in Lululemon? Off topic.
Oh, man.
Off topic, but, yeah, can you do it well? Sure. That's not the place. There's a time and place for everything.
That's like a whole other video.
It is,
yeah.
But it's almost like I can see how someone would say, you look fucking ridiculous. Mm-hmm. And then your reaction to your experiences is delusional. Mm-hmm. Because, I get it. It's almost like
there's a time and a place.
There's a time and a place for everything.
And then you know what too? There's this thought process out there now that when women do something, it should be women to hold them accountable, right. And vice versa, right?
Right.
So an older woman, say for example myself, if I were at the gym and said something to one of these women that are very inappropriately dressed, first thing they say, you old bitch, you're just jealous. instead of just taking it for what it is, mm-hmm. So how do you correct it as a society when that's the response you get? Just like when Felicia Rashad tried to say the same thing, but she was talking about just out in public, they drug her ass for filth all over the internet when she told no lies.
Well, you know how I am. I think that, nothing can be changed without either at all or without extreme measures. How would that happen? I don't know. Personally, I don't think it can be changed. I think it's just going to be something that people are going to have to deal with. But once And you start by stop listening to them when they say, oh, you're making me uncomfortable. You know, you start giving them shine.
Yeah.
Because, bitch, ultimately you want the attention. It might not be who you want it from, but whenever you're outside of your home, you cannot dictate what is going to happen to you and what you're going to encounter. And you have a certain degree of responsibility to what happens to you at the gym, let's just say, based on your appearance. And, you know, I don't know. I hate people who play games and complain about the rules and the metrics of the game. If you're gonna play the game, play it for all it's worth and accept it for all it's worth. You know, that's that's my only thing. I have no problem with you doing it. Just don't complain about what it entails.
You know what I would like to see? I would like to see gyms actually put a dress code in force. That's what I would really like to see. Now, of course, it would be very difficult to monitor such a thing, but I don't think they should let people come through that door looking like that. I really don't, because check this out. Say, for example, some girl's in there inappropriately dressed. She gets attacked,
right.
And then they want to sue 24-hour Fitness or LA Fitness or Planet Fitness, wherever they are.
Right.
See, when that happens, then they'll step in and start doing something about it.
But see, that's the thing, though. But see, if something like that were to happen, she should lose that case.
Who should though? Oh, you think so?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Why?
How did you contribute to your experience?
Oh, well. Yes, I agree. I mean, think about everything that's happening right now.
That sounds
it applies.
awful.
Yeah.
It sounds terrible. But there are people saying, and you know, because you're getting some kind of ego trip from it, this breeds certain attention. Like I said earlier, you don't know what type of attention you're going to run into when you walk outside your house. It could be wanted attention or completely negative attention. And maybe you should be more conscious of that. And
what could happen to me.
Exactly. So that's just me.
I agree with that to a certain degree. Women want to always claim victim, and that's what just irks the hell out of me. Because you're right, there are certain things that people do that contribute to what happens to them. Now keep in mind, things happen to others that they have completely no control over,
right?
But stuff like this, you had control over this potentially not happening by not exposing your body for the world to see.
Or you have accountability. I won't say control, but accountability, if nothing else.
Yes, correction. Accountability. You do have accountability. We all do. It's
just like if you get snatched up in the middle of the night, you know that it's not a good idea to go jogging in the park
at 12 a.m.
At 12 a.m. That doesn't make sense.
So you have to be accountable for your actions.
Absolutely.
And that applies to this gym nonsense.
Absolutely. So if you don't want the stairs, don't dress for stairs.
Right.
Ultimately. So that's all I have to say on the subject. I hope you guys liked the video. Please like, comment, subscribe. And you have anything else for him?
I do not. You guys, thanks for watching.
Bye.